3 habits that will instantly make you a better player. Quickly, I just want to say my name is Jamie and I'm a semi-professional footballer. I make videos to help you guys elevate your career and take it to the next level. Once you trust me enough, I have 3 paid products down below. So if you want to accelerate your career, make sure to go and get them. One of them is a professional fitness plan. The second is a one-to-one mentorship call with me. And the third is my gym plan. So make sure to go get them. And without further ado, let's get into the 3 habits that will instantly make you a better player. Starting off with something that you may think is obvious, but you'd be surprised at how many people fail to prepare. So most people that you play have this terrible preparation, and what this does for them is it gives them inconsistent performances, and they're not performing to their max level. They say they want to go professional, but then they don't prepare right, so then they're playing at like 80%, even lower than what they could actually be performing at, right? So if you're serious about going pro, you need that advantage by preparing, right? So it gives you a massive advantage. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be able to get into them tackles. You're going to be able to make them last-ditch runs just purely because you've prepared better. And as well as this, you're going to reduce your chance of injuries by doing things like stretching, getting that extra sleep, etc., etc. So you're going to get an instant gain from this, which is literally you're going to feel better on a match day than everyone else. And as a result of that, you're going to play better. But then also you get this consistent growth over time, where if you keep putting in these, let's say that you're ill prepared, right? You put in the 50%, the 50%, the 50% every single week, right? Then of course that's going to equal to a lower amount of effort put in than if you were to put in 100% every single week, 100%, 100%. So the projection of someone who doesn't prepare right is like this. They might get a bit better, but if you prepare right, you're basically going to be working at a higher angle and you're going to prepare at a faster rate. So how do we actually prepare before a football game? So starting off with the night before, a lot of people are just, they're not there in their head, and they think that it all starts on a match day. So they get terrible sleep, and then, they do a bit of stretching in the morning and they think they're all good. So night before, stretch before bed, okay? And then as well as this, get 8 to 9 hours of sleep. I'm not going to bother explaining this because it's very obvious. You're just going to feel better in the morning and you're less likely to get injured as a result. Also, when you go to sleep, have a cold room. If you're in a hot room, it makes it really difficult for you guys to sleep, and it's not optimal at all. And as a result of that, you're going to sleep less. As well as this, let's get into the morning. So as soon as you wake up, you want to basically program your body to be releasing energy all day long. So the way that you do that is you start off by basically acting explosively. So you jump out of bed and then get your sunlight in, get the cold shower. I've made a video on this morning routine if you do want to go check it out. I obviously explain it in a lot more detail, but if you want to know the whys, then go watch that video. If not, just trust me on that one. Then as well as this, we want to do stretch, and you want to be eating healthy the whole week. That Domino's that you had 3 days before, that will actually make a difference whether you like it or not. So eat healthy the whole week, and then stretch before your game as well, so you feel nice and loose and you just feel good playing. And then as well as this, you need to be eating carbs before a game. There's a lot of people say carbs is terrible, these self-improvement guys, which, while they may be right in some aspects, if you're trying to be a serious athlete, then you need carbs. So do not neglect your carbs. Have them before a game. Things like pasta, rice, potatoes, whatever it is. That's going to give you a lot of energy, and you're going to be able to run more in the game. As well as this is something that I need to improve on, and it's just staying off my phone. This is on a game day, but as well as this throughout the week. You want to program your dopamine receptors to basically not just constantly be craving dopamine, right? So you don't want to fry them throughout the whole week, and then as well as that on a game day. If you want to concentrate it properly in a game, then you need to basically teach your brain to concentrate for a whole game. And if you're on your phone all week and you're scrolling through TikTok, spam, your dopamine receptors are getting hit left, right, and center, and you're not going to be able to concentrate in a game because you're basically going to diagnose yourself with ADHD, and you're going to be searching for dopamine while you're in a football game, when in reality you need to be concentrating on what the right back's doing, what the left back's doing, what the opposition are doing, where your teammate's making a run, right? But if you stay on your phone all the time, then you're not even going to be thinking about those things. Your brain's going to be on Mars, which obviously we don't want. So that's how to prepare, and now moving on to the next point. So the second point is running, right? So a lot of people do not understand the benefits of actually just running a little bit more. And let me explain why people don't run more. So your brain actually quits before your muscles do, right? And this means that you can actually run a lot more than you think in a game. So I've struggled with this in the past as well. You feel really tired. You're like, oh, I'm going to conserve energy. Oh, I'm going to conserve, I'm not going to make that extra run. But that is one, that's poor body language, and you're more likely to get subbed off. And then 2, you're not you're not going to improve your fitness by doing that. If you just run a little bit more, then you're going to get fitter because you're going to get more tired, right? The more work you put in, the more you're going to get fitter basically off that. And as well as this, just from like a instant standpoint, that's sort of long-term things. From an instant standpoint, this is literally the difference, right? So if you just make that extra run in behind to while your winger has the ball, you're a striker, you make that extra run in behind, you're there to score the final goal, right? That's a very minor difference. You didn't have to make that run, but that's a very minor difference with a major impact. And if you're a defender, if you're just in the right position and you make that extra run back, then you make the final ditch tackle when your teammate isn't there. And these minor little runs, they seem minor, and you may end up making lots of pointless runs, but one of them will be worth it in a game. So make sure you're doing them runs. And as well as this, it makes a huge difference in people's eyes, right? That extra run basically gives you the opportunity to perform these things like the final ditch tackle or the final goal. But what it does in people's brains, they remember these things, right? And if they remember you as having a big impact on a game, then you're more likely to keep your starting spot for one. And then as well as this, football's an entertainment sport, right? And you're more entertaining as a player if you do these things, right? Because it makes you stand out. And then, like I explained before, running more makes you fitter, and then that makes you an athlete, and then you're going to be able to get noticed more of this, and you'll probably be able to play higher. And then if you do want to take your fitness to the next level, then make sure to click the first link in my description. That's where my professional fitness plan is. It's unreal. The results I've got so far are so good. So make sure you check that out once you trust me enough. And now moving on to point 3, scanning. So we've all heard of this, but there's a reason for that, right? When you scan around the pitch, you look left, right, then you build a picture up, right? You build this picture in your head where everyone is and what's going on. And then that makes you more aware. And once you're more aware, then you're able to spot gaps in between the opposition team, where if you want to pass, or where there's a missing defender, where the extra man is, where in turn of that, you can basically make an extra run. So you build up all these pictures, and it simplifies the game so much. For example, someone like Busquets, Iniesta, these players, they have everything in their brain. They know exactly where they're going to pass it next. They know where someone else is. And because of this, it makes their game so much easier, right? Because they don't have to make them last decisions. They don't have to make them last second decisions where, if they don't make the decision, someone's going to come slide tackle them, they're going to get injured, right? Because they already know what they're going to do, which means they can play the game faster. And if you play the game at a faster pace, then you're obviously going to destroy teams, right? And you'll destroy players. So I just wanted to quickly add, I'm not perfect. This is something that I need to work on. I'm very good in terms of the physical side of things, but with my football brain, that's something that I need to work on. And you could improve your scanning just by literally doing it. It's nothing major. You're just not scanning for the sake of it, not going like this and not seeing anything, but you actually need to be looking. Just look around more. And in the games where I have concentrated on actually looking and building a picture, it makes my game a lot easier, and I know when I can dribble, when I don't need to, and where there are passes. So for me, it's something where I beat my player on the wing, and then I need to have a look up, right, instead of just keeping my head down. So that's something that you guys can work on as well. Make sure you get your head up and you sort of just look around, you'll spot a pass. And lastly, I know I titled this video 3 habits, but I wanted to add in this because I think this is so important, and that is communicating, right? So just from a logical standpoint, if you communicate, you make everyone's life easier, right? So if you pass your teammate the ball and you tell him, oh, there's a man behind you, or play inside, whatever your communication is, you make his life easier. And if you make his life easier, then you're more popular within the team because, you help people out, etc. That's just basic. That's obvious human psychology there. But as well as this, it makes it easier for you guys to be on the same wavelength and be synchronized. And in turn of doing that, you're basically going to be able to pass it through players. You're going to know what you guys do because you're going to get used to basically communicating where you're going to play the ball, and then because of this, you're just going to be able to pass it through them little pockets because you're telling your teammate what to do. And like I said, it's going to reduce your teammate from playing the wrong ball. So if someone's in the midfield, right, and I'm standing on the left back position, and I basically say I tell them there's a man on, or don't, or whatever the communication is, then they'll listen to you and they won't play the ball that you can see obviously doesn't work, right? So just by opening your mouth, you make everyone's life easier, and you can prevent things. You can prevent your teammates from making mistakes, and your teammates can also prevent you from making mistakes. And as well as this, it makes you get on the ball more, because if you communicate and you call for the ball, then you're a more attractive player to pass to. And as a result of this, this means that if you get more of the ball, then you can do more things on the ball and you can basically have more of an impact on the game. So communicating is also very important. I've covered the 4 points now. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you on Saturday with another video. Just before I go, I want to say, make sure you get my products down below. They are so good. They've helped so many people out. I do guaranteed money back if you don't enjoy them, because I know like it's just going to help you guys so much and benefit your football career. And then as well as that, if you've got any questions on this video or just anything in general or about my products, then make sure you DM me on Instagram. It will be in the link in the description as well. And remember to like and subscribe.